Hi, I put a video out for you guys just after New Year's. It's now just turned April, and the Mad Max car has got an MOT as of yesterday, and I wanted to get the MOT before I did anything on the car because I've got some plans for it. In fact, you can know about them. I've got some drums, and I'm going to put them on. I'm going to remove the boot lid and put the drums on the back, so it looks like the fuel tanks are on there, like Mad Max 2. And whilst I'm doing those modifications, I'm going to change the front because that needs some attention anyway, and maybe make it look a bit more Mad Maxy at the front. What I'm going to try and do though is try and do a video for you guys so you can see how much work's involved. A lot of people see this car and they just think it's a type of car other than basically it's an LS400 Lexus. The shell hasn't been cut into, all the doors still function, in fact everything still functions on the car, the boot still works. It's just I've stuck a load of bits on it. So hopefully this video will show you what's involved. I wish I'd done this at the start really, because it was pretty intense work wise whilst working a full-time job. So in fact I think to get it to this point it was, I think I worked out 740 man hours. So I mean I was sleeping in the car and all sorts just to try and get this thing done on time for the road rally at the time. So that was back in September, but that's all, road rally's done now, which was great. Car didn't miss a beat. In fact, because it's Lexus, it's just bloody reliable. So yeah, what I'm going to do is, and first things first, is get some more lighting in here because it's pretty dark. Hopefully you'll see the difference in a minute. Right, I have got 5 meters of LED strip. Now these things are pretty bright, and if you want to power them, I tried to power them off of my own type of. This is all to get light up in here. I tried powering them off of a mains supply, and it got very warm for no reason at all really. The LEDs do not consume a lot of power. Anyway, you can buy these like laptop power supplies off an auction website that everybody knows about, and they come with these terminal rails, so you just, they're sticky back, just stick them up, tie wrap them, whatever. I've got 3 of them, so let's see how bright they are. Let's lighten this situation. Right, okay, so that's the lights done with. It took a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna, but it's worth it. You see the light dazzling the camera in the background, but hey ho, it's worked a treat. I can actually see the car now, so it's a bit late now, so I think what I'm going to do is probably just tidy this up and then I'll crack on with the boot next thing, first thing in the morning. Yeah, always tidy up your workshop. Right, day 2, got daylight now, and we've got lighting in here. I'm going to get this boot lid off, and start mocking up these drums. They are, I think they're 150 litre like plastic container drums. I was looking for, I think in a sense Mad Max used some air tanks, air reservoirs, and they're really expensive, so I'm going to try these plastic drums. If they work, great. If they don't, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So the trickiest bit is going to be, I want to retain this rear window, so the trickiest bit's going to be, they're going to be about this height, and cutting them so they conform with the car. and then the bit that I've cut off, hopefully I can put inside the car, keep the rear window, like keep it all dry inside the car. My idea is to make, with the boot lid off, maybe have like a false floor in there, so I can still lift everything up out of the way and get to my spare wheel, which is actually in the boot still. I'd like to retain that feature. So yeah, I've measured these drums, so hopefully they're about the same size, but let's give it a go, see what we got. Okay, so this is the drum. It's about 1 metre long and it's 40-50 centimetres wide. So the back of it will be where it is there, and the front of it, this is going to be tricky because I feel like I've got to cut some sort of like an imaginary line on these drums. Let's get this boot lid off. I've mocked up the tank, roughly where I want it to go, but what I can't do at the moment is slide it forwards because of all this bit that's in the way. So what I need to do is cut out this part, and what's left of that part I can then put on the inside of the car, hopefully. I mean, I might not need to, it might just look okay as it is. The problem I was having was working out how to mark the window on here, because well, you can see I've done it, but what I did was I measured how much I want the tank to move forwards, so from the overhang back, so you get yourself a length, and then what you do is trial and error. I think, I don't even know if this is going to work, so it should do. You get a straight edge, so following the line of the drum all the way across. And you basically move it down, because this curve is going to push this bit of wood. And as you can see, it will follow the line. So hopefully I can cut that out, one slice of a cut, and I'll have two pieces. That bit will slide forwards to exactly where I want it, fingers crossed, and yeah, we'll see. Wow, it worked. A lot better than I thought it was going to. I just cleaned the edges up and it almost holds itself on there. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm well happy with that. But you can see where the bit that I've cut off, something I think needs to go inside, because it's quite obvious they're not tanks, but I want the illusion that they are tanks. So I was kind of thinking, oh, I could just have the windscreen sort of going through the tank, but it kind of works. I think add the bit on the inside and it'll be half convincing. Right, I've had another go at this because the tank was sitting quite high. I've recut it again and I've brought it down well, probably what's that, 2.5 inches, 2 inches. And it's slowly dawning on me that you're going to be able to see a lot of this part of the window. I want to try and hide kind of where the tank ends. In Mad Max he's got tyres on the boot and all sorts really, so and cans of Dinky Doo dog food. Also though, just having a look at some photos, where the boot line is, it kind of ends halfway up, so maybe I can add something fake on here so it looks like that's where the boot ends, but it doesn't. It ends down here, which is too low and out of sight, so I kind of need to make that half visible. Maybe I'll see what I'll make it out of later, and then sort of blend it into the side here. But also I'm debating whether to, I've got I think these are 20 litre jerry cans. They will fit in here. Obviously this will be coming out, but I think that's kind of where they're going to sit roughly. So if I have like the fake rear of the boot here and add, I don't know whether I can just sort of like put a tyre on the back here and a filler cap and, you know, the stuff on the back, but it's this area here that I want to kind of mask. But the problem is, if I painted the window, it would be really obvious that the window's there. So I kind of want to leave the window clear so the light will go through. So it's all up in the air at the moment. This is all just experiment and see what works best. It probably would be easier just to remove the rear window, but I mean, so far I haven't touched the whole body on the car, so I want to try and avoid that. Because then that'll add just another problem for me, really. Just, you know, putting a bulkhead, well, not bulkhead, but something clear at the back there, and boarding it. I'm going to stick with this idea because, for the most part, if you look at it at the right angle, it does actually look like there's a tank in the car. But what I want to do, I want you to have to look really close to actually see that that's what's going on. So we'll see. I'll carry on. Maybe do the other drum, put them together, put the tanks in, and see what we got. Okay, so I've just asked around trying to do exactly the same thing on the other tank, like I did to get this one fitting right. Marked it all out, and then just thought, why don't I just cardboard template this, then flip it over and put it on the other tank. So that's what I'm going to do now, because then they'll be exactly the same. Hopefully you'll see in a second. I'll basically roll this round the drum that I've already cut, draw around it on the inside, cut it out, flip it over, put it on the other tank, and trace it across basically. Don't know why I didn't think that to start off with, but makes sense, so I'll crack on. Second tank done. So the tracing method works. I think that's what that's what I call it. So Put a bit of cardboard over the piece, mark what you want to cut, get yourself a datum line. So I was using this line because I know that it's, because the window curves, I knew that the template wasn't symmetrical, a mirror image of itself, so I had to flip over the template. However, the other thing is you need a datum, so that's a start point of where to put the template onto the new piece. So using these lines I just marked either side because I knew that they were parallel on either side. Going on a bit here, but on the other tank it's a similar thing, so as long as they were dimensionally, I don't know, as long as those little datums lined up with the other tank, I flipped it over with the template and just cut it out, and that's what we got. Same length. The drum is actually slightly different, but that adds to the Mad Max bit maybe, I don't know. We'll see.